Welcome to the Rhoda Wilson Show, keeping you informed, entertained and educated. My name is Rhoda Wilson. I'm truly excited about my new series because we've got wonderful guests, interesting topics such as health, heart, media, the environment. And also we've got a new segment in my show called The Kitchen. So I hope you stay with me throughout my series and also you stay with me throughout today. Now, before we have a discussion with my guest, let me tell you a little bit about her. Described as one of Britain's most successful black female, Yvonne Thompson, CBE, is one of the founding directors of Choice FM. She is president of the European Federation of Business or Black Women's Business Owners. Therefore, it's no surprise to hear of her involvement in the Images of Black Women film festival taking place at the end of March. The festival sets to break all perceptions of black women in the film industry. Yvonne, welcome to the Rhoda Wilson Show.
Thank you very much.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank
I
you.
know you're here because we're going to be talking about the images of black women because we are in the international month of women, or International Women's Month being March.
Absolutely.
So, but before we do, I would like the audience to get a feel of who you really are, because I tell you, you are a very important woman. Ladies and gentlemen, we are really privileged to have Yvonne here, because Yvonne, you obviously were involved in founding Choice FM. I don't know whether you can talk about it and tell us how you became involved in it and what was the success or behind it.
Well, it all seems so long ago now because I'm sure you know it's now been, or it was sold to Capital Radio.
Yeah. And
Capital Radio has since been bought by Global.
Yes.
So I'm now 3 steps away from it.
I know.
But back in 1984, along with a group of men, I was the only woman.
Wow.
And along with a group of men, Patrick Berry, Neil Kenlock and several others, we applied for a legal license, because at that time there were so many pirate radio stations. The government was getting very upset with everybody closing down pirate radio stations left, right and centre. We were not a station at that time. We had never been a station before, but the group got together and we applied for a license. The first time we didn't get it, and then we had another opportunity again in 1998. And at that point, we did get it.
Oh, wow.
So,
but what did you do that was different to what you did previously?
Well, I think the first time round we had stronger competition.
Okay.
We went up against the likes of what is now Kiss FM. And they got the license instead of us. And what the government was looking for at that time, or we didn't quite fit into that, into the format. We went away, we reformatted our application, and then waited for the licenses to come up again. And as I said before, 1998, it's actually 89, sorry.
Okay.
So, as I said, it's so long ago now. But second time round, we won the license, and Choice FM was set up in Trinity Gardens. And I've got the funniest story about that, because I actually now live at I shouldn't give my address out, should I?
No, you better, for security reasons. You don't want somebody coming to your house and asking for tea.
Yes, well, put it this way, I now live and work from where the station was actually based.
Wow.
So I've kind of gone around in a circle. But yeah, I mean, we were there for about 10 years, and then the station outgrew that particular area. And then we moved to Borough High Street. Wow. And the rest is history, as they say. We were in Borough High Street for 3 years, and then Capital Radio kind of did a, not quite a takeover, but a buyout, which we were all happy with, because that meant that we all became a little bit richer.
Oh, hello. Definitely, they'll come to your house for tea then. So, I mean, obviously this must have increased demand for your attention as well, because, I mean, Choice FM, it was sold, and everybody must have wanted you.
Oh, I don't think so.
Really?
No,
because you're involved.
Not at all.
Oh, really?
Not at all. I mean, what took up a lot of my time was actually running the organisation, which we'll talk about a bit later on, doing my PR, but I also sat on lots of boards. I did get a lot of attention, but mostly from government organisations that wanted role models, people that could contribute to issues around women, small business and ethnic minorities, which was the kind of area that I was in. So, you know, I've sat on all sorts of advisory boards. I've chaired the London Central Learning and Skills Council. I chaired something called the Ethnic Minority Business Forum for central government, Business Link, British Council, quite a few things.
I suppose one that we're very interested about, because obviously it's International Women's Month, is the European Federation of Black Women Business Owners.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this organisation.
The European Federation was started back in 1996, which was about 12 years into the time I'd been running my own business. Yeah. And at that time, it was very rare for a woman to be running her own business, and even more so for a black woman to be running her own business. So there's nobody that I could network with, or there wasn't any kind of comfortable surroundings for me to network. So, you know, I thought, well, if there's not one, I'm going to have to create one. And luckily, I was approached by an American organisation who, again, the president of that organisation came to the UK and was surprised that surprised there were black people in England, and secondly, surprised that, but the Americans are very insular, you know, a lot of Americans never leave America. So to think that, you know, there's any black people in England, it can be a big surprise. Yeah. And we met through, I think it was Diane Abbott at the time. Okay, yeah. And she was so surprised that, hey, there was actually black women, and not only black women, but black women that run their own business. So she invited me to the States, to America, to see how her organisation was run. And whilst I was there, I was totally surprised by being given the very first international award from that organisation. And that organisation was called the National Federation of Black Women Business Owners. So I started a chapter of that organisation in the UK, because it was structured exactly as, you know, the way I would have wanted it to. So, you know, why reinvent the wheel? So we formed an alliance. I started the European Federation, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Oh, wow. Because also the Federation gives us an award. Is this annually?
That's right, yes.
Or is it every... You know?
It's annually. Annually we have our something called the Bieber Awards. That's Black Women in Business Awards. Okay. And we've been doing that since 1996. Yeah.
And how has that changed? Because obviously the economy has changed, the world has changed.
Absolutely.
And things have gradually changed. What kind of business owners do you now get compared to what you had back in the early days? Yeah,
at first we were getting the very, I hate to say it, typical type of, you know, black or minority business, which was either in food, for black women, hairdressing, fashion designs, retail, the kind of things that you would expect. Yeah. But more recently, it's been everything from training to women in IT, to women in banking, to all sorts. I mean, you know, I think the minority businesses are a bit aligned now with the mainstream organisations or mainstream businesses. So it's a direct reflection. So whatever you can find in mainstream, you can now find in minority businesses. And
what do you think is driving the confidence in women now to have their own businesses?
I think it's the need. It's more the need. You know, times have changed so much. And I think also being in a country which is not your country of origin, the circumstances are so different, you know. I'm originally from Guyana. Not that I remember anything about it because I've been here for so long. But I know, in Guyanese culture, the women would stay at home, look after the family, and so on and so forth. But when you're in a totally alien environment, in order to survive and in order to kind of keep up with your peers, I think you have to adapt to that way of living. And everybody goes out to work now, you know. Again, in the Caribbean, the children would stay on and go to college and go to university and be in education for as long as possible. But here it's just so different. As soon as you can work, you go out to work. And that's how you survive. So I just think that more women have to you know, have to be out in the economy. They have to work. Also, you know, let's be frank, there's a lot of one-parent, you know, female-headed families, and in order to survive, she has to go out to work.
That's true. She has to go out to work, indeed, indeed. And what kind of, because people be sitting there and say, gosh, I really would like to be on this, on the list, to be nominated, or at least given an award, because that is actually quite prestigious as well, because that is something you can, you know, you can have all over on your letterhead or so on your car. How can people tap into this particular organization?
Well, we have our website. They can go to the website and register on the website.
Okay.
It's quite easy. You know, usually once we open the nominations, we tend to send out a newsletter. We tend to publicise it. It's usually in the press, sometimes on radio, depending on the radio station. And yeah, generally, you know, people get to know about it through people that have been nominated before. Because what tends to happen, I think, people find it such a positive experience that they, once they've been nominated and or won, they then nominate somebody. So it's like a virus.
Okay, Yvonne, don't go away, because we've got the most interesting part of the interview to come, which is the images of black women. I'm really, really excited about this, but we're going to take a break, so please do not go away.